me to feed my chickens. So we just came back from Canada on Wednesday the 9th. We don't really have any chickens in stock per se. I just had a few, well, I had 13 layers, and I went to Canada for 8 weeks, and I came back, and now I have 4 layers and 2 roosters because somebody didn't take care of them. So let's give them some stuff. Hopefully, this was a tester. I was just testing to see how I do with the layers. I got them from chicks, from 1-day-old chicks. And this contraption right here is what my husband built to keep them in. The reality of it is, it's not a good setup, but it's what I have right now. So let's give them some feed. Good morning. Hello, ladies and gents. Good morning, good morning. Go hunting. I also do a little walk around and just throw some in the barn and put it all day throughout the day. They can just use them. And if you leave it up to them, they'll just fly away. So let's put back in place. Let's go get some pictures to put a door on here. And his goal is to build it up another 4 feet so that we can have a walk-in. And then we will reposition it. I'll show you where in a minute. So yeah, so we drop in all the feed. Look, this is not a very good setup for them, but finances is keeping us from doing the dream. So ideally, while we're living on this property, we will put the coop here, and that one standing over there is just for the chickens, a young 1-day-old chick. We'll keep them in there for like 2 weeks, and then we'll build a coop right here in that other section over there for them to run around on the ground, because we don't want them, they just get so crowded in that space up there. Before I used to do about 200 chicken, but I think I'm going to drop it down to 50 because I realized that I don't really have that much customers for 200 chicken. So the property runs all the way to the back, but we just section off this part because there's a guy that ties his cows in here so often, and they will just come over here and think they own this land. There's a solar farm over there. That solar farm, I think it's abandoned. I wish I can get hold of the guy who owns it, so him and I can have a discussion. Well, my husband and him can have a discussion on what he's planning on doing with that, and if he wants to give my husband the job of mining, do the mining for him. We have some fruit trees. So there's a plum tree that I planted because this one had rotten down, and look, it's bringing up again. It's coming right back. So I guess I have 2 plum trees now. We planted some dwarf coconut trees here. So these are the ones that wouldn't grow very tall, apparently. I don't know. This is a Caribbean cherry tree. Jamaicans would call it Jamaican cherry. Barbadians would call it Barbados cherry, but it's growing all over the Caribbean, so whatever. Our sapodilla tree is in the making. It's coming. And this is the bigger cherry tree. We have 1 coconut tree that actually gives us coconut, but it really does give us coconut, if you can notice that on the ground there. We were doing compost here last year, And my aunt from England came down and she threw all the mango seeds here. So now I have like 30 or something mango trees. Hi, Snow. That's Snow. In here, I planted a velvet apple. I left it as a tree and I came back and found it like a stick. This mango tree right here, I don't have a clue what kind of mango this is. I have never seen this mango in my life. But what it is, last year when it grew into it looks like this. It has a very, very tiny seed with a lot of flesh around it. It's not sweet, it's not watery. It's just eh. Over here we have some big time Cuban oregano, whatever you guys want to call that. I planted one little branch and it turned into this. I'm starting my papayas. There is one right here that I moved yesterday. I also planted this avocado tree and I left it as a tree and I come back, it's a stick. The guy has, I don't know what he did in the 8 weeks I was gone, but I have a feeling he was never home. This right here, I think, I don't know what they call it here again, something of life, some kind of tree of life around the world or something like that. But if you ever think you're sick or you're going to get sick, eat a couple of these leaves, you're good to go next day. I also have a little bit of aloe growing in the corner here. This tree is a sugar apple. So this is a sugar apple tree. It was really big and it was like all up on the roof of the house. So we cut it back last year and when I say cut it back, I mean down to the stumps, and it grew back like this and it's full of sugar apples today. So that's awesome. Did the laundry this morning. The beauty of solar system. You just hang it outside. Over here, this mango, I believe we call this mango starchy in Grenada, but over here I don't know what it's called, but this tree grows it abundantly and it is super, super, super sweet. I don't even know what the heck is in this mango, but they're sweet. And I just come and pick up because they just fall every day. I just pick them up every day so that I can have. At this very moment, most of them are green, which is weird because last year we had so many mangoes. But what we did notice this year is they are much bigger in size. And I don't know if it has a lot to do with the fact that I planted some tomatoes in the corner there and the tree was getting more watered than usual. Yeah, I live in the bush. This is St. Lucie. As you can see, there's not many houses around. We literally live far away from the glamour of tourism, which I don't mind. I love it very much because what's nicer than having a whole acre of land that you can literally do a track on and run. Yeah, so this is what the property is looking like. So this is where we live. One of these days I will take you guys up to where we actually have land that we planning on building on. I created a GoFundMe to assist us with that because it is quite expensive this is a flat piece of land here. Over there it's a hill. It's like a hill, downhill, not even uphill, downhill. So we have to get some contractors to come and flatten out the land for us where we would like to put the house and create like a nice space around for walking around the house once it's completed. And that's the most expensive thing. Hope everybody can help me with my GoFundMe. I'll post it in the bottom once I have this channel up and running. We do have a soursop tree also, and then there's another coconut growing right there. I'm assuming one fell and no one ever picked it up, so it grew. But that one happened while we live here because I picked them all up because I want the coconuts. We make milk with it, we cook with it. Yeah. So far, since I came, I picked up 3. Over here, I covered them down last night because it's gonna rain. But there's our turtles. I call them Bim and Bam. I don't know which one is which, so they better both answer. So we have the chickens, we have the turtles, and over here is our other cat. We have 3 of these. This is Ginger. The first one was Snow. This is Ginger. And Luna is the female. She's somewhere back there. She runs around like she's wild. Look at her. She behaves like she's wild. Hi, baby. Hi. And this is the coop that we have. This is like 30 feet of the run. But as I said, we just came back, so there's nothing in there as yet. I'll have to get my finances together to order in some more chicken. At the moment, that's not happening. Over here in St. Lucie, we try to plant a lot of things, but nothing grows. Everything gets eaten by bugs. Look, these are peanuts. All the leaves are eaten. There's potatoes over there, eaten by bugs. I planted some melon. I didn't get melon. If anybody know what the heck these things are, let me know. What are these? And if you tell me it's cucamelons, I don't like it. I tasted it and I don't like it. But I literally planted watermelons there. The seed says watermelons. And this is what we get. I'm preparing this to plant maybe some strawberries. I'm not sure. I planted strawberries here since I came like 20 times. They all die. I planted some peppers here. Apparently I planted it for bugs to eat. I threw some papaya seeds here, and these are the trees. In the 8 weeks I was gone, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to transplant them over onto the ground. I have a little bit of turmeric growing here that I took off our property on the other side, and I planted peas and big. Of course there'll be multiple mango trees here because we don't pick up all the mangoes. The tomatoes I planted, look at them. This guy left everything to die. Everything died. The banana stool is looking unhealthy, so I am going to go through these and strip them down and see if I can bring them back to health. We have a pomegranate tree here. When I left, there was lots of pomegranates on it. Now it just looks... Look, I know he wasn't here while I was gone. He took advantage of the fact that I was not here and left, because this was a flourishing guava tree when I left. Look at it. No water, no nothing. So this is the front of the property. I do have a sign there for that chicken thing, but it's not an official business. It hasn't been registered as yet. I don't know what to do. Like, it's very hard to start things here and get it moving. We got this water tank here for the water for the chickens. Yeah. That's turning out to be a good idea at all. It's disgusting. It's just growing algae. So we just water the plants with that now. Yep, so later on I will feed the chicken again a second time in the evening because I have enough to walk around the whole day and pick and scratch and eat. Yeah, so this is our property that we live on right now. We do pay rent for this property, and he did give us access to the whole entire acre of land, so we can do pretty much whatever we want on here. But I don't want to do too much permanent things on here, because his grandmother did give us a piece of land so that we can build our own property with. Unfortunately, when we came down here, we spent a lot of money on my father's house, tidying it up and making it livable. And now we're stuck with our own project, and we are in like financial ruin. My husband had to go back out to work. The intent was for none of us to work, and yeah, now he has to go back out to work. Yeah, but one of the good things that happened while we were away, my son wrote his 11 plus common entrance, passed, and is now attending Queen's College in September. Yay, us! So we grew some, I don't know if this is Barbadian spinach, but it's spinach. I don't like it. I don't like it. And we have some green onions growing in here also. The snow is very needy. This porch needs cleaning up. I planted a grape seed, and now I have a grapevine, so I have to find somewhere to put it where the bugs won't eat it, and see if I want it to grow just a little bit longer until it starts turning until it's ready to run, and then I'll move it out. I got some wild strawberries when I was in Canada. When I went to Quebec, we went to Gatineau Park, and they had like all the strawberries growing on this side. So I pulled up a few. Let's see how that turns out. I planted an orange tree from seed. And this here is, they call it gooseberries here, but we call it damsels in Grenada. So of course I want all the things that I remember as a child growing up in Grenada here. And they don't have very much of what we have back home. We have a lot more stuff. This is the spinach I know growing up in Canada. This one. So I grew a little bit of that, but it's not doing very well, as you can see. Nothing does well here when it comes to growth on this side of the island. Everything is like getting eaten by bugs. Or maybe just this land. It's been sitting here for a while, so a lot of things probably took it as home. Look at her. She's prowling. What the heck? And this is where our cat sleeps. I built a little thing for them, put a little cushion in there. Their little house, a scratch pool. We usually put the litter box in at night because we don't want them using the litter box during the daytime. And their food and water goes in at night with them also. Yeah, so until we meet again, have yourself a wonderful day.